Yo, what's up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. This is going to be the LCS lock-in day 3 thoughts and opinions. Joined here today is Trackhawk, not T-Root. I'm pretty sure he's at work right now, and Trackhawk's like, hey, I'll just fill in for a spot. I'm like, okay, that works.
I mean, let's be real. I've got better opinions. I've got better hair.
Whoa! Whoa! Throwing banter. What is this? What is this? Cloud9's coaching staff? Oh my god!
No, exactly. No, this is the Team Liquid subreddit. What are you talking about?
Oh my god! I'm now a TSM hater because apparently I make logical analysis. Couldn't be me, right?
Dude, that's not allowed. For Team Liquid, TSM, Cloud9, logic and analysis, not allowed. It ain't happening. Fuck that shit.
How was your day, man?
Pretty good. Except the entire NA. Oh, okay. Not gonna lie, I was really disappointed that none of the games were anything shocking. It was just a return to form and the same exact thing happening again and again and again. And yeah, other than that, what about you though? What about you? You had an exciting day.
Well, I got up for work a little bit early, and then the guy needed gas money. I was like, sure, okay. Then he tried to start his car. I needed jumper cables. I was like, okay, let me go ask the neighbor. Got jumper cables, gas station, went to Home Depot, got a can of dust, or a duster, so I can blow the dust out of my keyboard. Because right now, I'm trying to do renovations in my house. That's why you guys see everything kind of flopped around. I actually have, this is kind of a, spoiler. I even told my main YouTube channel this. Back there, I actually have a gaming chair. My friend actually bought it for free. Yeah, the same friend who bought me this Switch right here for free. He got me a gaming chair for my birthday because he wasn't here. He was like, "What do you need?" I was like, "Yeah, can I get a gaming chair?" He's like, "Fuck it, sure." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah."
You got one of those diva.
I don't know which one I got. Dude. I forgot. I think I got a G, some sort of like G Rex one, G Racing. I just wanted a gaming chair. I was like, "Fuck it," I want a gaming chair. And then after that, went to work for a little bit. Got off pretty early. They're they're trying to cut back in January, but I have 5 days anyway. It doesn't really matter to me. I could work 4 days and bills would all still be paid the same. And came home, watched some League of Legends, recorded some videos for my main YouTube channel, and yeah, earlier today we did kind of get into a debate with someone in our own Discord, and it's fine. It's fine. We do that here. We have no hard feelings towards anybody. It's just all about the conversation. But this is something that also the Yu-Gi-Oh community has, and a lot of other communities have when you're being a spectator versus a actual player, is that you're seeing something that you would be able to do perfectly from a position that's not really advantageous. Is that the word? Because you're looking at it purely from your perspective of you're not being in a high pressure situation. You are also not in that situation of what you think you would do, you would not do. It's what I've learned how to phrase it over the course of the years.
And not only that, I call it spectator vision, and I am 100% guilty of it because looking at previous casts and stuff like that, you get to see okay, I was critical of this person, but looking back on it in the game state and given how they're what vision and everything that they have available to them, that wasn't actually the worst call they could have possibly made in that given situation. So I've legitimately got it, apologized to teams, a bit I kind of shit on you earlier in the stream, and I just want to say you guys were actually right in what you did, and so
unless you're CLG, then
unless you're sealed, yeah.
Dude, I was like, what games am I watching? These guys are playing today. I think yesterday, if you saw the game they played versus 100 Thieves, unarguably, I think that game was the most exciting. The one they played against 100 Thieves, where it was back and forth for day 2.
Yeah.
But other than that, they went back. I don't even know. Is it counter logic to expect it to actually play good at this point? I just don't know.
Honestly, okay. I feel like the teams aren't entirely taking the lock-in on day 1, or how to say. I don't feel like the top teams were really taking the tournament seriously in the first day, and so that's why we had some exciting games and some upsets and shit happen, because teams were just coming out and be like, oh, whatever, first day, it's a new tournament, who cares, whatever. And then there were some teams that were just fucking try hard mode straight off the bat,
because they saw they saw the fans react on Reddit and Twitter and Facebook, and they're like, okay, let's probably try a little bit here, because even Cloud9's drafting phase was okay, come on, you guys aren't really picking Yon.
Oh, dude. I swear to God, I made a comment about this, and I was like, honestly, it felt like C9 and EG had a meeting beforehand, and they agreed. They were like, oh, let's just have a fun game. This is gonna be like straight solo queue. Let's just like pick champions that for like the wow and like the oh man, this is gonna be so fun to watch factor and stuff. And then EG just went straight off script and was just like, yeah, no, we're about to fuck you up. And C9's just sitting there with like shitty picks and just like,
dude, I am still standing by my points in my power rankings, and I still say this right now, guys. This tournament does not matter. I guarantee you, when Spring Split starts, there's gonna be like a promotion video like Double have had back in spring 2020, where it's like, oh, Jet's like, yeah, locking doesn't matter. Locking doesn't matter. Like, once a pro player says locking doesn't matter, it's already set in stone. Like, don't need to form an opinion, because people are just gonna dick ride for that opinion because they can't think for themselves. Oh, yeah. It's just how it's gonna work, But I wanted to say, it's basically the equivalent of backseat league watching is what I would call it. Because for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's called backseat dueling, or like Pokemon would be like backseat battling. Because you're basically
driving,
or like are you into like wrestling and like MMA fighting, stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
so like backseat ring fighting. Yeah. It's like you think you would do the right thing, but to be fair, you have no pressure on you. So yeah, you're looking at it from 100% complete spectator vision. It's like,
yeah,
and I humbly 100% disagree. Santorin would have did the exact same thing and better, because I'm being honest here. I mean, the argument was like Santorin's so much better than this person. True, but he gets beat around by Blabber. Like he got destroyed by Karsa. Karsa has it's not like Santorin, he plays towards his lane effectively. Santorin's strength is that he plays towards his lane effectively, but he's not a fast-paced jungler. So Karsa played towards all of his lanes perfectly and was faster paced and then beat the shit out of him. So it's like, yeah, Santorin might be better at this one thing, but like TL has star players, though. They don't really need to get their lanes. That's why I was trying to argue it, like, when we were doing our power rankings in the offseason.
I think the game that they played today is actually a perfect example. Because I said, look, if Team Liquid had all laners that were absolutely styling on 100 Thieves, they would have still won the game.
Yeah.
And that absolutely happened today. Yeah, we watched
Grigor, what the fuck his name now? Armount. It doesn't matter. He could literally go in and be 0-4 on Italy. It doesn't matter. They're all actually good. Like, even like Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, Cloud9, EG, they all look fantastic. TSM minus them, But like,
to be honest, like even teams like Dignitas, EG, and 100 Thieves still look pretty fucking great. About the only teams that I'm like, still kind of on the fence on is Golden Guardians, just because they're too inconsistent, and CLG because, frankly speaking, they got walked over. Like, it was.
I gave up on CLG today after watching this abysmal game. I'll go into that later, but it's like that game actually pissed me off. I was like, this is so bad, and it's like, yeah, I'm kind of being a little harsh on them, but it's like, there's no way you could be in this position and not know you're ahead. I just refuse to believe players know. They're not ahead and can't end games. But looking at the very first game of the day, you had Cloud9 versus Immortals. Cloud9 drafted Aatrox, Talia, Zoe, Aphelios. Alistar Immortals drafted Jace, Kindred, Orianna, Kaisa, and Gragas. This game, Sven beat the shit out of all of them. And I even said, Sven and definitely an FBI, best tactical, best ADCs. There's clearly amazing top 4 ADCs on these teams, and I'm super happy. But I still think I'm not being biased here, guys. Sven played better than all these guys. His laning phase has been great. He's been moving around the map great. This guy's team fighting and positioning has been great. He's been amazing. It's like my friend, when we did our power rankings, he says Sven is by far away the best ADC. I'm like, hey, he's not wrong. Hey, Sven is by far away the best ADC. He's actually just dumpstering people.
Sven has been absolutely amazing, and part and parcel is Vulcan is such a great enabling support for him. Like, when Sven decides that he wants to go in, Vulcan is 100% behind him, and they're so fucking laser focused. Like, I honestly expected Core JJ and Tactical to have this same kind of synergy where, they're just dumpstering 2v2 the bot lanes. But no, it just seems like Sven and Vulcan are on a different page. This game was Not even
Just like the
close.
ADC gap between Sven and
Oh.
Keith is so big that the solar system can't match it. Literally, Sven is like on probably Mercury, and Keith is probably on like Pluto, if they even count that as a planet anymore. Oh god.
What made me laugh even more is everyone is going to be dumpstering on Perks because like, oh, Perks didn't carry Blabber and Sven just fucking 2v9 the entire map. Perks, they didn't really show this, but if you watch the map during the game, Perks had, I believe, 5 ganks attempted on him during the game.
Yeah, like even against EG and even against the other team they faced yesterday, FlyQuest, they always try to gank him. He's actually been really well at avoiding ganks. Now, I agree with people, like to a certain extent, he hasn't shown his true potential yet, but that's why that's why you have these tournaments for. That's what they're for. It's to ramp
and to
up.
be fair, he's getting the NA treatment. He's getting the everyone's just the other team just laser focus on him. It was a bit of a joke that I made earlier in the day. I was like, oh, he took heal because he knows it's going to be 5v1 in his lane. But yeah, no, it wasn't even close.
The only player that's a question mark. See, my question mark personally was going to be Blabber, but Blabber has been playing pretty well as of recently. The only question mark now for Cloud9 is Fudge having nerve issues, or is he just not that good? That's the big problem here, because he's not looked that good. Like I
don't think he's got nerve issues. I think it's like I don't want to say the term limit testing because that has a really
negative connotation to it.
Negative connotation. But I feel like he's testing to see where he stands mechanics wise. Because every single game, it seems like he's just trying to stay 1v1 in lane against the opponent as much as humanly possible, and seeing if he can single-handedly take them on and like win his lane without any real help. Obviously, this game, Blabber ended up coming top, I think it was twice. So not as much of an echo chamber as he probably wanted, but we saw it in the game against EG. We saw it in this game against IMT. It just seems like he's not entirely comfortable. He's not entirely there yet.
You can tell. Missing a lot of these like Aatrox Qs. A lot of those Camille hook shots weren't landing. I thought his Orin was pretty solid. He was zoning really nice. His ult was really nice. But that's the thing, though. Orin's a meta champion. Like, Orin's pretty easy to a certain extent. I just think that I don't want it to be a case of, oh, they got rid of Licorice, a really solid player, for this guy. They might think that they might think has a decent upside to him. You know, I don't want it to be the case, because like
I don't think it is, because like if we do a separate case study for a player like Huni, where that's like the extreme of, okay, we're gonna pick up a player who has like an insanely high ceiling, but whether or not he hits that ceiling is low.
It's truly debatable amongst your salary. Hey, he could be like, man, well, this month I'm making 500K. Let's maybe try and play League of Legends. But overall, for C9 versus Immortals, they beat the shit out of them, guys. It's literally, they actually just stuffed them into a body bag and shipped them off into a fucking planet you cannot find anymore.
It wasn't as bad as FlyQuest. Like what C9 did to FlyQuest.
That's a statement.
I feel bad.
I told people, it's like, even when they lost to EG, they still played well in the game, though. It was like, okay, they're there, but they're not all the way there yet, and you can see them kind of ramp up during the match. You can see against EG, they were doing things right. It's just like too far ahead. That was an actual bad draft. I don't care what. That was an actual terrible draft. This comes from two people. We don't even blame draft for losses.
Drafting Yone was just a joke, and then Lucian I'm not gonna get into it. It was a meme draft. But yeah, as they've shown 2 games in a row versus these lower bracket teams, it's not a question of if they win. It's a question of how badly do they stomp the other team. So yeah, C9 comfortably in the driver's seat the entire time.
Now you also have the next game, which is 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. 100 Thieves drafted Aatrox, Olaf, Galio, Aphelios, Lulu. TL drafted Renekton, Lillian, Cassiopeia, Samira, and Leona. So this was the game that had us talking earlier with one of the people in our Discord. This is an interesting game. I will say this. Both of these teams are good. Now, to be fair, looking at them, it's not that I truly value flashy plays. Like, if you look at how a team is playing and how an individual player is playing in the game, this is something that I encourage all of you to do. Back in the day, it was really hard for me to understand why a player was good outside of why a caster would say they were good. Go inside of a game, go into like a few games, even just these past recent ones. Focus on one player and only focus on what that person does. Then you'll do that for a lot of other people because you're going to get better at it. Then you'll see what makes a good player. You can clearly tell Closer is a much better player than Santorin. It is like he has everything a jungler should do except better. Santorin is good at obviously making sure his lanes are taken care of. And the debate today was that, oh, if Santorin was here, things would have gone better for TL. I mean, first of all, that's a straw man argument because you don't know that, and we don't have 100% accuracy on how well Santorin's playing right now either. And we know Greg sucks, so we know that Greg sucks, or our Mal, and we know Closer's better. So one would have to assume the better jungler should be playing better than the worst jungler. Simple addition by subtraction kind of thing, right? Now during the game, I don't think TL played that bad actually. I think they got caught off guard at certain moments, but like peel the factor on this. Just because TL lost doesn't mean 100 Thieves weren't playing good either. 100 Thieves have also been playing insanely well. They've been playing really well, actually.
And to give credit to 100 Thieves, like holy fucking shit,
they're even better than they're gonna be.
Everyone just looking down the lineup, with the exception of Closer, and maybe someday, depending on the day. Every single one of those players should be considered to be just a worse version of their TL counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, FBI, you could make the case that he might play better than Tactical in some way, shape, or form, but Tactical is a now worldwide, or now world's level proven ADC who is mechanically amazing. Demonte definitely should not be stacking up against Jensen in terms of it. Core JJ and who he was probably like just in terms of what supports bring to the table, astronomic gap there. So
I think it's just two good teams playing in that one of the good teams just lost. It's just a case of that. Now I get the fight he's talking about. The fight he's talking about is when Closer ran in on Olaf and he smashed down Jensen because Grig was kind of not in the right position. It's like that's what Olaf does. He just kind of runs in and blows you down.
Okay. I went through and I broke this down because I was trying to figure out exactly what was
going on. I was like, okay. Yeah. It's like it's not as bad as what the guy was talking about. I was like, dude, you're kind of just freaking out over here.
Okay, so here's basically at 5 minutes, like 5 minutes and I think it was like 15 seconds or whatever, TL catch Closer out and they burst Closer down. So your Olaf is down for the count. If you look at the map based on what TL knows, TL has camps in the top side that Lilia can take care of. Renekton now has a item lead, and they can force Someday off of a double wave of CS, get turret plates for the Renekton, and basically make Someday on Aatrox irrelevant. It is not the worst idea to do that. The argument there was that they should have gone bot side and picked up Dragon and...
in a perfect world, if I could have sex with Scarlett Johansson, I probably will. But you know what? That doesn't happen. Maybe they didn't want to do that. Maybe they talked about it in the game. Hey, you never know. But, maybe during their comms, they probably didn't say that because we don't know what a pro player is talking about in their comms. They most likely just didn't...
I would love to hear the comms because I think... I'm like 90% positive that Alfari called for a top dive because he was prepping the wave at this point to have a double stack crash into turrets, same as bot side. And I'm like 90% positive that Alfari was like, hey, come top side, we can 3v1 dive. And Armeo and Jensen were like, oh, this works perfectly. We got camps going up there.
Did you see the fight at 10 minutes? I think he also brought it up where like they were out of position and like Gray could have got in front of Jensen. It really doesn't matter, dude. It's an Olaf. It doesn't really matter though. They have a
Olaf too. There's a reason Olaf has been banned so fucking much. It's like right now this meta is so reliant on crowd control and combos and everything, and just being able to just combo abilities and to just bursting out individual players. I love it. As an ADC, I hate it, but as a spectator, I love it because the fights are so dynamic now. But yeah, Olaf basically just says no.
That's it.
No.
It's also the case of, like, we know closer's better than Greg. So, like, Greg's highest level is nothing. Literally, I mean, literally just looking at them side by side, like, one team has good players. The other one has good players. One just has a better jungler than the other. So obviously, one is since he's better at the game, one will make better decisions when the time comes. One will make shitty decisions because we've seen these guys play. You can clearly tell who's gonna be the better jungler. That's how I see it personally. I get not everyone has to see things the way I do, but like that's what you expect out of a better player. It's like pitting. You watch basketball, right? Or
my entire thing was just that I don't think Armero was the only reason that Team Liquid lost.
No, not even.
I honestly feel like Team Liquid got caught off guard, yes, by the bot side play, but it was a 2-for-1. At the end of the day, a 2-for-1 doesn't really decide it. It got the momentum going in their favor. My main problem came down to the fact that Team Liquid, after that play, stopped making aggressive plays. Yeah. They had actually created a situation where Someday was basically fucking useless, and they could have just leaned on that and basically forced it that it was a 4v5 for the entire game because Someday was never going to be relevant ever in it. But they just stopped making plays after that, and they didn't have to. And everyone on Team Liquid is part and parcel to blame for that. It's not like the jungler just went, all right, guys, we're not doing anything aggressive until we're 35 minutes in and our Cassiopeia and Samira are able to just 2v5.
God, Armal's a horrible name. Credit to Armal. Like, he was making aggressive plays, but it's that he's just the worst player. He's just the worst player. Like,
you're the worst player on one of the top teams. It's like,
you know,
I'm not going to say that he's worse or worse than Closer. He's not. Closer is an absolute fucking amazing jungler, but we shouldn't just pin the entire blame from Team Liquid, like I know their subreddit is doing right now, on your substitute jungler. That is a stupid fucking excuse. And it's the same thing as people who are like, oh my god, Cloud9 lost because perks was on Yone. No, Cloud9 legitimately got outplayed for the better part of that game. Were they coming back in around? Yes, but we can't blame the entire loss on
it's
perks.
Like a bunch of shoulda, woulda, couldas that don't mean anything, you know? Like, next game, you had Dignitas Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses. Dignitas drafted Gnar, Nidalee, Zoe, Aphelios, Leona. Evil Geniuses drafted Renekton, Graves. God, they keep giving Evil Geniuses Graves and Renekton crazy, and they won every single game with those champions. Ryze, which was a pretty good pick for them, actually. Kai'Sa and Maokai. So this was an interesting game. There were moments where you could see what Dig were trying to do. But like how we just brought up with Armal being a worse jungler than Closer, Fake Goddess Ligo, I mean, they're just not as good as their other opposition. Like, you could clearly tell they were messing up all the engages. There was a moment where Dardoch speared a dragon, somehow, stupidly at the wrong time, missmited, and Svenskeren got it. What the hell? This fucking team stinks. I'm sorry, anybody who's Dig fan.
Okay.
Man.
I'm gonna make a bit of a statement. Yeah, EG is looking really fucking good. Svenskeren is kind of running over a lot of these mid-tier junglers, and Impact is just fucking smurfing in the top lane. Like, yeah, it's pretty bad. But Dignitas drafted a composition that was really hard to execute. This is part and parcel with the fact that their draft was pretty shit. I mean, you have Lilia and Graves available to you as a first round pick, and you don't take them. It's like, okay, guys, okay. I get it. You have a hard on for Nidalee. Everyone has a hard on for Nidalee, but you left Renekton up. For some reason, you're banning Lucian, Camille, and Akali, but you're leaving up Renekton and Graves.
Why do these people keep giving this team Renekton and Graves? People said Impact can't carry. I don't know what player you've been watching, but that's not true. It's clearly...
Impact is EG currently. Like like the rest of the team basically just doesn't have to fuck up or feed, and Impact's just in the top side, just being like, "Yo, don't worry, top die and then we win, top die and then we," and it's pretty fucking great. But no, I just fault Dignitas's drafting. The players, the fact that they were even able to keep it somewhat competitive for the first 15 minutes with that composition, like I don't care what anyone says, they could have drafted so much better, and I feel like if they had played just as well but with a better composition, there was a real chance that EG wasn't going to win. And even then, it felt more like EG didn't win because they were the better players. It just felt like they bided their time and just waited until
Rise scaled up.
Until Dignitas made a mistake that they could then capitalize on, which isn't going to work versus Cloud9 versus Team Liquid and potentially even TSM if they get rolling. Like, all three of those teams have shown a penance for making really aggressive early game plays, and so that's just not going to work. So as good as EG is looking right now, this game versus Dignitas wasn't exactly what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see was EG just take Dignitas and run over them. like I just wanted to see them decimate them like no tomorrow, like what basically Team Liquid did to CLG.
Dardoch had more opportunities in this game to do something. It's not like I'm just putting all the blame on him. It's like he made a clear-cut lot of mistakes on Italy. Come on. Like, he was over here spearing a dragon he could smite, and then Senscran came and smited by himself. What the hell is that?
Yeah, no, he definitely made mistakes, but here's the problem. If you watch the game, Dignitas was almost entirely, up until I think it was like 26 minutes or something like that. Dignitas was within 2K of EG almost the entire fucking game.
I feel like if they had maybe a different way of looking at the game and like how well they played the team fights, they could have won this game. I'm saying they had a good shot at it, because like it's not like they were complete dog shit when watching this game. It's like, oh, they're just getting run up. No, they actually, it was 12-16
they were
at 30
making
minutes.
Picks.
Yeah.
They were making picks. They were trying to make the plays. They were forcing EG into situations where they had to make the decisions. Did they make the correct decisions in those given situations? No. But part and parcel with that is I feel like they drafted a composition that they just needed an easier execution on. Gnar, Zoe, Nidalee is not exactly what I would call an easy-to-execute composition. That requires a lot of skill shots to being landed. And while Nidalee, I believe she took whatever that stupid fucking mythic item is with all the healing. Despite all that, they still gave EG enough of a fight that it was probably the closest game of the day. So I'll give Dignitas at least credit for hanging in there and making it competitive, because realistically, EG should, like, if EG was as good as the commentators are making them seem and their scoreline made them seem, they should have taken Dignitas and just run them over, just fucking steamrolled them to no tomorrow. So the fact that they're still having trouble with mid-tier teams while Cloud9 and Team Liquid are basically just going, oh, hi, mid-tier teams. Just fucking truck over them. It doesn't make me confident that EG is going to really stack up against a fully fledged top three. So
now this is the game that made me want to light myself on fire after watching it. TSM versus CLG. He's like, I want to go home.
Can we not talk about that game?
TSM drafted Orin, Olaf, Azir, Jhin, Maokai. CLG drafted Renekton, Graves, Syndra, Kaisa, and Alistar. Alright. Because I was watching the YouTube chat. Oh my god. Like, even that's just full of fucking weird incel, socially retarded virgins. Past that point.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay. There's so many different ways to look at this game. But I want to tackle point by point, right? So, Solo was really far ahead of Huni. It was like absolutely just so far ahead. To be fair, I want to give this as much credence as possible. He did not spread this advantage at all.
No.
If you have a lane like that, I guarantee you, give it to any LPL top laner who actually has a serviceable brain. this game, it's just over. Now, people are like, well, Huni was on Orin, so he has to be 30 CS down and lose a tower 30 CS down. That's good. 30 CS down. I get it. Renekton into Orin. It's not a pretty good matchup. Orin has like 400 armor. I'm just saying.
Orin definitely gets pushed around by Renekton. By like nobody should be arguing that Orin doesn't lose lane to Renekton.
He's a soft early counter, but it's not like the way Huni was actually just getting like butt fucked.
No, he was getting bullied. And to be fair, Solo isn't a shit player, so I guess part of that is, good on Solo for, continuing. Mm. We saw him actually be pretty fucking good, all things considered, last season. So, it's good on that. For me, it was just so... I couldn't tell which team was actually playing to win the entire time. Like, it felt like TSM was just like, oh, we need to do things to win, and like
there was his best running it down impression of the year already. And just in January, dude. The man was TPing at inopportune times, dying. Oh my god, there was a dragon fight. Griffin,
dude, that bot side TP made me cringe so fucking bad.
Remember that final dragon fight where they all lost it? Griffin's like, fuck it, we lost turn anyway. Flash it and die. I was like, all right, they're done.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a game they played earlier summer or spring. The exact same game. They gave every objective over. They're not contesting shit. It's like, yes, CLG are ahead per se, but you're not ahead if you don't do anything with it. Like,
yeah. But of course with Griffin's not their main jungler. It's Brox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, but with Broxa, they would have been better.
No.
CLG played like trash, but the good news is TSM almost played as trash as them. They just decided, around 20.
Wait and did almost nothing until Wild Turtle had to basically do his classic Wild Turtle shit for them to attempt.
Pobelter had to basically TP into a situation where he was 1v4. Wild Turtle had to fucking flash into TSM to get them to be like, all right, we should win. We should do stuff. And it was just,
Hey, and like, I get it. These tournaments don't matter, but it's not looking good for Huni. And people tell me, oh no, I can't believe this YouTuber is talking bad about Huni. He's not good. I don't care. Like, he looked good on EG in the playoffs in summer 2020. I mean, you're a good player. You looked good in a bad situation. Congrats to you. Like, what the hell? It's not a bonus. What the fuck? Like, I feel like he's just not that good. He really is just not that good. He stinks. He actually was losing every laning phase. Day one, okay, it's fine. They pick a composition that does pick on top lane. Fair enough. It's happened to me personally. A lot of games, people pick on top lane. It's fine. Day two, sucks. This day, he actually gets clapped if CLG had any sentiment of a actual brain. He got carried by Lost. Guys, that's all I'm saying. Like, he's not good. Like it's terrible.
How bad is it that Lost is legitimately, I would almost feel like Speaking Lost are just hard carrying TSM. But personally, can we just talk for a second about like the 28 minutes in when Power of Evil and Huni double TP'd into the base and CLG was just like, hi PoE. Like,
this game was terrible, dude. Like,
it was so bad.
This game is actually horrible. No one won this game. I lost my time.
No,
I lost my time
dude,
watching this game.
I legitimately like Smooth Brain there.
It's so bad. Like, watching Smoothie degrade into this type of support. Oh
it
my
was
God.
Yeah. No, it was bad. It was really bad, and I think that's all I really want to say on it because nothing. We can't say anything about it because we didn't see anything. We saw.
Oh, I know what this game was. It's a carbon copy of what I saw them play like last time. They just gave TSM all the objectives. Why is that when they played TSM, they gave them all the objectives? It happened literally the time before they played. It happened now. They don't contest shit. Solo's over here, like, doing his best impression of, like, actually inting, because he's this far ahead, and to stays top lane for way longer than he should. Wild Turtle is like, alright, so, just, like...
he's just comfortable there. Wild Turtle, okay, to be fair, Wild Turtle is legitimately... I can't tell if Wild Turtle is, like, a Wait, it's not Wild Turtle. We're on CLG. No, we are. Okay, never mind. I was thinking. I suddenly jumped on to Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians, and I was like, "What the fuck are we talking about? Isn't it? No, wait. CG has Stixay now. Oh god, that's just." Anyways, yeah, Wild Turtle. I feel like he's still a half decent player, but he just does these things where I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't need to flash forward to remind us that you're Wild Turtle. It's fine. Like,
dude, I don't. Maybe Finn or Brox would make them better, maybe, but like, I don't know, man. Like, and this is, I mean, kudos to TSM. They took advantage of CLG.
Did they take advantage?
No, they didn't.
Or did CLG take advantage of CLG?
The CLG's brain sabotage itself. You never know. It's like that Houdini situation. You never know who's doing it. You never really know. Did
TSM win or did CLG just lose? Like, I
really don't know. Like I even told people, hey, TSM really only has 2 good players in like Power of Evil and like Sword Art, quote unquote star players. Spica, he looks okay. I think he did fine relatively these past 3 days. Lost came alive today, but looked fairly okay in the other games. You know, I just want TSM to have a consistent playstyle, which they don't have yet because it's obviously, you know, before the split starts. But it's just, this game, I can't talk. No, this game sucks. All right, next game.
Yeah.
Good God. These people need an actual brain. All right. The next game was, final game of today, day 3, was Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians. TL drafted Gangplank, Nidalee, Orianna, Philios, Thresh. Golden Guardians drafted Ornn, Graves, Syndra, Kai'Sa, and Nautilus. So, this was an interesting game. But most of it was just kind of TL domination. There were moments where Golden Guardians tried to get back in the game with picks, but since they're a bunch of new players, you're going to be seeing a lot of that new player, new team type of problems where they don't really engage properly. The Nautilus goes in, they're just standing there watching going, hey, good job, dude. Go in there. You got it, dude. And then, yeah, that's kind of what this game was to me personally. I think TL kind of just ran away with it, you know, overall.
I agree.
Like, Niles did really well into Alphari, but it's like, you know, that's good.
No,
that's a good thing.
And to be fair, it does kind of give me hope that Golden Guardians is not going to, you know, be last place. I really hope CLG takes that because
at this point now, CLG is 10th place.
Like TSM and CLG by far, in my opinion, they're the most deserving of last place. Like, yeah, Golden Guardians is inexperienced, but my god, at least they were playing their fucking hearts out. Like, I honestly didn't see a moment where CG just rolled over and died, except for like maybe when they were losing their base. Like when there was literally 0 chance of them winning, they finally were like, okay, we lost.
Even against even the Cloud9 Immortals game, like Immortals at least were trying in the game to maybe get something. Like this game showed, like they're not. This team is probably going to be around maybe at highest peak 7th place. Maybe if they can really peak and maybe actually get it together. They need a few things to make them better, but that's going to take the time to develop these things. It's not going to be overnight. I don't think Newbie's bad. I think Newbie and Stixay have communication problems. You can clearly tell by their laning face, but he's obviously speaks Spanish. It's going to happen, obviously. Stixay's looked okay, you know?
Like, Newbie legitimately kind of stopped Core JJ from Core JJ on Thresh, I thought was just going to basically just go in, make picks, and carry the entire thing. While he did do a few things, it seemed like he was just follow-up. Like, every single time I saw him hit a hook or something like that, it was, you know, Alphari had dropped the ultimate with Gangplank and the target got slowed. Tactical was using the Graviton gun to stun them. Jensen was setting it up with Shockwave and stuff like that.
Shockwave one person for a kill.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so it felt like normally it's like Core JJ facilitated everything, but Newbie did really well to kind of stop that so that he had to, you know, play follow-up rather than initiate the entire thing, which was really kind of interesting to see. Of course, anyone who kind of bet against Team Liquid winning that's a losing bet, just straight up. Like, Team Liquid is, even with this kind of more interesting draft, I wouldn't necessarily say Gangplank was the smartest decision to go forward with, or Thresh or anything like that. It might have been a little bit of fun, but maybe not stress about things as much, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But all the same, yeah, Team Liquid was always going to win, but at least CG went down fighting. That's
Golden Guardians.
Yeah, Golden Guardians. CG.
Same teams, right?
CG, EG. Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be fun like that. At least they went down fighting, and like, honestly, props to Stixay. I'm seeing a little life. I'm seeing a little bit of life. There was a moment where it was pretty late in the game. I think it was like 20 or 30, like just shy of 20 minutes or something like that, where they were fighting around Dragon, and Stixay fucking outplays the entirety of Team Liquid to get at least one return kill before being able to flash out. And so, it's really nice to see at least a little bit of life coming out of the team, even when they were against what many people consider to be either top or the second best team in the entirety of NA. And I will say this, a Blaze Olive plays a pretty fucking mean Syndra. Yeah. His Scatter the Weeks were on fucking point. It was scary.
You know what's crazy about a Blaze Olive is that he's been looking better than the other NA mid, the new guy, Palafox.
Yeah.
Hey, did I not say this? Hey.
You did. I will fully admit it.
EG took 3 Cloud9 players. They looked bad. Well, Svenskaren kind of did look bad last year. Then FlyQuest takes 3 Cloud9 players, and they look bad. Why is the trend of people taking Cloud9 players and them stinking on other teams?
I'll fully say, in my draft, in my pick'ems for this week, I had the chance to take Celigo or Palafox, and I was trying to make a decision between them. I was like, oh, well, Palafox has a better, but Celigo, like, could definitely pop off. Now I'm feeling bad for picking Palafox, all right? Like, you were 100% right. I should have believed in the curse of the Cloud9 Academy players being picked up by a team that being picked up by FlyQuest, but
Golden Guardians, I think they did well. TL, they played well, and what's gonna go on next week? They have one or 2 more days of gameplay, and that's it, right?
Yeah. So let's just
after that's knockout stage, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Let's
we'll talk about that on like the fan cast later on. We have it that later on during the week.
Probably smart. It's probably smart because they have the knockouts after the top teams.
Yeah, literally the next day. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. You have the best of 5s, right?
Yeah. So
quarterfinals. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they have. Where is it? Knockout, or the teams haven't been determined. EG has secured a place, but now it's just a question of the standings. So EG is guaranteed to be in there. We're pretty sure Cloud9, Team Liquid, and TSM are probably also going to be in there. So realistically, it's just a question of who gets in there, because I believe it's only 8 teams that get in. So 2 of them are going to be cut. Counterlogic Gaming has already been cut. So it's a question of if FlyQuest, Dignitas, or Golden Guardians are realistically going to be cut. Because I don't feel like Immortals or 100 Thieves are really going to drop the ball too much. I say that.
And that is pretty much it. Anything else you want to say before we close out of this?
No, let's fucking go to bed and sleep.
Sleep on Cloud9. I still, it most likely probably gonna be a Cloud9 EG finals. Maybe. But
I don't think so. Okay.
Looking at 100 Thieves are no slouches. I could easily see it being maybe TL 100 Thieves finals, given how things are looking.
I think about the only, I don't even want to say there's a guaranteed team. I think that there's realistically 4 teams that there probably could be. EG, Cloud9, Team Liquid, and 100 Thieves are, in my opinion, the teams that look the best right now. Immortals and TSM could play upsets, maybe, just based on their roster, how they're playing right now. But realistically, I think it's going to be one of those 4 teams, or 2 of those 4 teams are going to be in the finals. And I'm like 90% confident that it's gonna be a Team Liquid versus Cloud9. I'm sorry, I don't have faith in EG when they face off against.
The biasness is real, guys.
I know, but I just don't have confidence in like. I'm sorry, they were struggling against mid-tier teams. Where Team Liquid and Cloud9 were just fucking truck cooning them.
You know what? You can do what I always say. They got lucky. They got lucky. That's the best argument you can make for a team.
No.
Just kidding. All right. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. Yeah. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Wave Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. Oh yeah, TSM fucking suck. God. That's how you write in the video.